Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. And so when you think about what the Panthers were up against, the U.S. government defined them, called them terrorists, said they were angry black men with guns, said they were all these terrible things. And then they planted a bunch of informants, and they started sending letters across chapters and across between Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver, which is where the split happens, right? And basically sowing tension. Elevating, everybody has issues, right? We all have to work out stuff in relationships. But when you have somebody that wants power over you, basically playing you like puppets, right? You don't know what's real and what's not. And so for me, the lesson is, think about who your enemy is. And think about who's in control. And think about what power would actually look like for us. When the Panthers put out their newspaper, it was, as it's been described to me, they said that the news back in the 60s and 70s, like everybody was Fox News today, right? And so they wanted something completely opposite of that because there was no other alternative narrative. And so that was a chance to try to control who they are and say, we are this, these are the programs that we do, this is what we believe, this is our political agenda, this is how we organize the people. And so it was about, how do we define ourselves, and then how do we move people around and organize them so we can actually obtain power? And so for me, it's really just about, when funny stuff happens, ask why. I had this group in San Francisco that I've been working with for the past couple years, and they were building an HBCU satellite campus. And we had a black mayor of San Francisco, London Breed, in a city that's only 5% black. And right up, this happened very recently, a few months ago, just leading up to the election, they tried to pin her to the HBCU satellite campus, saying she's favoring the black community over everybody else. Keep in mind, the money for the satellite campus was taken, there's $120 million taken from the police budget. So we're talking about a reparations framework. Man, they pinned them people against each other. You had all these people in the black San Francisco community working against each other, sowing tension, right? And it imploded. Next thing you know, you had an article out from the two articles in San Francisco Chronicle accusing the woman running everything of all kinds of stuff, mismanagement, and they're doing an investigation, can't find anything. But because they put out the news articles right before the election, they got 3 black people in power removed. They forced Mayor London Breed to separate herself from the project because she wanted to get reelected. It happened right before the elections, right? And so when I see stuff like that, it's like, well, who's really in power and what are their aims, right? The Black Panther Party didn't have to split, but it's a reality they did. But it had a lot to do with the FBI being all up in their business. And unfortunately, people lost lives. People lost relationships. People found out sometimes they had kids with people who were informants. Didn't find out till years later. Right? Imagine what that does to your psyche and to your ability to trust people. So once again, colonization, right? But it's just really like, who's in power and what do they want? And how do we make sure that we understand what's going on? Take a minute and assess your situation and move forward. I think that's what, personally to me, that's what I've learned from it.
And I'll say something real quick on that as well. You know, in organizations, you know, each organization when it's put together and, you know, when you join or when you have something, they have a mission and a vision. And those who are involved, you have to make sure that they are on that accord. When you see people who don't have the same mission, value, that's not the organization for them. And you have to look at them then and say, what are they here for and what are they trying to do? Because we have to come together as a people. And when we're together, you know, it's strength in numbers. You're able to do things when you're working together. But when there's dissension and you have people that come in just to disrupt, and we have that. Again, it's like with the plantations, the you know, house and the outside Negroes. You have to make sure that you're working in one accord.
Sitting in